morning, everybody. This is Becky here at Aunt Beck's Creations, and Scott and I are up early. Scott's had a lot of pain in his feet, and cat wouldn't leave him alone. So we're up. We've just had a first cup of coffee, and I thought I would just come on and do something for a little bit before I make breakfast. So I'm not going to be on long, but I thought it could be fun to do maybe some kind of little craft or something together. I've got this marker pad that I bought the other day to use with those Arteza markers. And when I opened it, somebody is drawn in it. So I'm just going to pull this piece out and play on it with my markers just to see how they'll do. I talked with my niece who does art with markers. And she says she does not like marker paper, but she said she also likes to put a lot of color down. So she said she would rather just use white cardstock, regular cardstock. And yeah, it bleeds through, but she likes good solid color. She doesn't do like shading and stuff like that. But let's play with my Artezas and just see what they'll do on marker paper. And this is just the Hobby Lobby paper pad. So this is just all to show you how markers work on their paper, I guess. And we'll go from there. But these are the Arteza markers that Scott got me for Christmas. And the other day I was fighting them. And then I realized the sides of the pack come open. And I was like, duh. This is so much easier to get these back in their little sections. And see, I got all the different colors here. So we'll play a little bit. Maybe we'll do some roses on here. Let's see, where can I set this so that I can get to everything? There we go. Hi, Teresa. Teresa, I didn't find it. Scott found the postal scales. So I'm going to get your package off to you today. I can print the label here at the house and just drop it at the post office or put it out for my mail girl to pick up. I'm going to get 3 different shades of red here. And then I'll have to put them back in the wrong order, I'm sure. So good morning, everybody. These Arteza markers have at one end makes just a narrow line like that. And then this is chisel tip, so you can get big, broad marks with it. These were on special at Christmas. This is something I wanted to see. See, it's still going to come through on this paper. But what's good about this paper is the marker runs nice and smooth on it. So I've not played with these, so we'll see what we can do. Hi, Nashwa. And I saw Mary wasn't on when I got up, so I said, well, you know what? I'll come on, and if anybody else wants to come on, they can come on and watch me or watch somebody else. And our cat, Callie, she has found one of my old hair bands, and she's got Scott in stitches because she's acting like she's a kitten in there. So how is everybody doing this morning? We went and tried to buy groceries last night, and there wasn't much left in the grocery store, so I'm going to have some creative cooking opportunities. We're going to have some very interesting meals, I would say. But it's like Scott said, I've always been pretty good on, just using what we had available. So and hopefully the grocery stores will get some eggs in. There was no eggs and there was no chicken. No chicken. There was frozen turkey. I told him, I said, if I got a turkey, we'd be eating turkey for a month. Ugh. Teresa says it's nice to hear you laugh, Scott. But yeah, I said, how long have you been up? And he said, well, for a little bit. He said his left heel is hurting really bad. That's not a very good rose. Oh, well. I think I need some practice on using the markers. Do a scribbly rose with the other end. I don't know why I thought if it was marker paper, it would not bleed through. That's why I bought this. I was thinking it would be, made for markers. But I guess that's not what that means when they say marker paper. Yeah. Yep, we will, Nashua. We'll figure it out. And Scott's used to me coming up with some creative meals. When we were young, and then we had Greg, we got married in our early 20s. Well, I was 21 and a half when we got married. And then we had Greg when I was 22. And Scott was 27. He's 5 years older than me. And he was the only one working. I was a full-time mom. I was full-time at home with my son. And, our income was that of young kids. And we made it work. We took on everything. And when we were young, I mean, we got a mortgage, we got married, we had a kid. And now the kids that are coming up now, I think it's going to be hard for them to do that because the houses are so expensive. I mean, our first house was like $40,000 or $49,000. I can't remember exactly.
It was about 48.
48. And now the starter houses are over $100,000, which I think is crazy. Even the house that we bought when we were young, the last time it sold, it was over $100,000. And I thought that was crazy. And then the larger houses in the same neighborhood, which is where our house is, they've been selling for less than what they're worth. I don't know. It'll all work out. It's just very frustrating. When we're working so hard and the houses cost so much more up here. We've started toying with the idea of just buying land and having a prefab house, just set up on it so we can get out in the country a little bit, because the newer housing developments, everybody's up on top of each other. Because the man that buys these developments, they want to slam in as many houses as they can and charge as much as they want. So
We were just babies when we started out.
We were just babies.
We thought we had it going on.
Yeah. We thought we had it going on. Is right. Let's see what some green looks like on here.
We did okay, I guess.
Yeah, we did good. We did good. I'm going to have to practice with these markers. Might look up some videos on how people use them. I'm just really testing the paper more than anything.
Bought this for you.
Yeah. It bleeds through, but it doesn't come through. Does that make sense? The color comes through, but the actual marker seems to stop on this side. So you'll have something on the back. So you could not use these in a journal unless you painted the next page, is what I'm thinking. See how these write. See, these could be fun to just write with for sure. They have a very strange smell. Nashua says she was 23 when she. Was that when you got married or when you had your first child? I'm going to put these up now for a little bit. Yeah, we thought we had it going on, but I think our age group, let's see, I was born in 1964. So I was at the very tail end of the so-called American baby boom. I was at the very end of it. And I think that our age group was still in the mentality of, you go to high school, then after high school, you might go to college, and you definitely got married, and you definitely had kids. So we were just going by the natural way of things. And so
I've been in the Navy 6 years.
And he'd been in the Navy 6 years. He had just recently got out when we met. Because he went in the Navy when he was 17?
17.
17.
I didn't even shave every day.
No.
I hadn't finished growing up.
He was so skinny, you guys, when I met him. He had like a 26-inch waist. It was crazy. He was
28.
28. It was skinny, bony. But I fed him up to full size. Oh my goodness. I can't get my temperature right. Robe on, robe off. I don't know. It's chilly this morning. Let's see if I got some work to do in this book. I'll pull this up while we chat. Scott's getting him some peanut butter crackers. And I guess Callie's still she's eating some food now.
I took that away from her.
Oh, you took it away? But this is my Comp 20 book that I started with Dee Dee Willingham, and I haven't finished it yet. I need to find a quote for right here, and then I'm going to call this page done. But I thought maybe I'd play on this page. That one I'd scrape some paint in it. And this is my growth journal. So, Teresa, you only have one child? We only have one son, is why I was asking. Our son is, he's now 33. He'll be 34 in August.
We didn't have a yard service either.
No, we did our own yard work. We had a garden even. We had a little small garden.
We didn't even, the house didn't even have grass. They didn't roll the yard back then.
No, we went to his parents' house and edged around their driveway and their front sidewalk. And then we took that grass and we broke it up into little plugs, little pieces of grass. And our lawn at our first house was like concrete. We had to take an axe to cut the ground, and then we'd stick those centipede grass seeds in. And within a year, we had a full yard.
That was beautiful.
It was a beautiful yard. When they roll the lawn on, where they bring the grass out in rolls and then they just roll it, that causes a lot of hidden disease and stuff because you're rolling the whole thing. It's not naturally growing and covering it. And you hide all kinds of bacteria and stuff, and it's just a mess. Teresa says she has one child and she's 43. We thought our son would have been married by now, but he's not. He's had a couple serious relationships where the girl ended up cheating on him. So he wants a relationship like his dad and I have, where, we've been faithful to one another and we've been respectful, and
It's a partnership.
It's a partnership. He wants a partnership like mom and dad have. And so far, he's not had much luck. I feel kind of bad for him because he's such a good guy. And all these male friends of his think it's so funny that he enjoys cooking, and they call him gay and this and that. And I wouldn't care if he was gay or not, but he's not. He just likes to cook. And yeah, let's see, what was he making this weekend? He made some kind of blackberry alcohol. He gets possessed with making different things. Like this weekend, it was some kind of blackberry alcohol. And he was we were on the phone last night, and he was trying to learn how to make creamed corn. And I And I said, son, I was just down there. I could have just physically shown you how to cut the corn off the cob to get creamed corn. Because you hold the cob and you cut half of the kernel off. Then you take the blade of the knife and take the back side of the knife and then scrape off what's left. And that is how you make creamed corn. And Scott's mom makes great creamed corn. It's really good.
And she freezes hers.
Yeah. And I told Greg, I said, why do you want to can all this stuff? He said, well, I just want to. I don't know what kind of mess he was going to have in my kitchen down there, but it's not really my kitchen much anymore. It's his. So I had started doodling here, but I can't remember what I was using. I think it was just a Sharpie. So maybe we'll just doodle a little bit. Nashwan says she has 2 boys and 1 girl. Well, the kids also see all these movie stars jumping from one person to another, and they don't see any commitments. It's really kind of sad that, the kids can't find anybody. They'll remain faithful. This is a much finer tip than that one, so I'm betting I used a different pen. Maybe these can be a different kind of flower since they're on this side. Or maybe they got different sunlight. But hopefully one day he'll find someone. I mean, he's got a young lady that he really likes a lot, but she said she's not interested in a long-term relationship. And she works evenings at the emergency veterinarian's office. And he cooks for her and takes the food in. And all the other women that work there tell her, he's a keeper. You need to keep him around. So we'll see what happens. And her parents have met Greg and they like him. And I don't know. We'll see. So it's looking like it's going to rain. And Scott's still having to go out to work. They have strict safety protocols there at his job because he makes he works at a business that makes implantable devices. So you definitely don't want any virus to get in there. So he has to use wipes and sanitizer before he's allowed to enter the building. If the guard doesn't see them use the sanitizer, he has to send them back out, and then he has to wipe the door down with alcohol wipes to keep the facility safe. But the kids all find their way eventually. As mothers, I think we struggle watching them struggle to find their wings sometimes. At least Greg's got a decent job now, and we had him join the Navy, and he was in for a little bit until they downsized. So he went through basic training and all of that, and then he was put in a reserve unit, and then they closed that reserve unit down and released him from his obligations. But he's been trying to get back in, but he's getting to that top end age range where there is a age cutoff of where they'll let you re-enlist of, I think, 34. So he's right at it. So I don't know if he'll be able to get back in or not. I think Spot would like something to eat.
I hear you in there.
He says, you're talking and you haven't fed me. Spot is our spare cat that lives on the porch. He doesn't come in the house because he's an intact male cat and he would spray everything, and I'm just not having it. And our other 3 cats, they tolerate him, but that's about as good as it gets. I think I might start coloring some of these.
He's a low man on the totem pole, that's for sure.
Yes, he is. But he's going to be a big old sweet boy like Howard. His name is Spot because he has spots all over him. Sometimes I think he looks at me like, why on earth did you give me a dog name, woman? Why? We gave him that name because it fits him. These are my old Sharpies. I have 2 pages glued together and there's paint on that page. So maybe this won't bleed through. And I don't know if these will even work. They're not going to color the way I'd like it to color. But both Greg and his young lady friend have been covering extra shifts for all the people that are just laying out of work. I mean, they've been given the opportunity to have some emergency time off if they needed it. But I think a lot of people are just taking advantage of it, even if they're not feeling ill or anything, which I guess is a good thing with the way this virus is. But what ends up happening is people like Greg and her end up picking up all the extra shifts. And I told him, I said, well, think about this. With fewer people there, you're less likely to catch it. And you guys will be the ones making the overtime money on those overtime hours. So
I'm old and I'm tough. I go to work.
Scott says he's old and tough and he goes to work, but if he got it, it would be very scary because last time he got the flu, which this is not the flu, he got really sick. I thought I needed to take him to the hospital. He was wheezing. I could hear his lungs go. They would like whistle and wheeze. It was terrifying to listen to him laying next to me wheezing like that. And Greg got that flu, that same awful strain of the flu that year. And it settled in our son's uvula, the little thing that hangs down in the back of your throat. And his throat almost swelled shut. I mean, he could have laid in bed and died, and we wouldn't have known about it.
I was referencing just basic work ethic.
I know.
Old and tough, go to work.
Well,
that's it's some that you can't hardly get them to go to work at all.
All right, Scott's got a coworker that he lays out as often as he can. Well, right now, all the kids are out of school because the schools are closed, right? Well, this guy's wife has a part-time job, and so he's laying out of his full-time job so he can take care of the kids. I'm sorry. The full-time job with the benefits would be the one that would be going to work, not the part-time job. I'm sorry. I would not put my full-time job in jeopardy where you have benefits for your wife and children so she can go to her part-time job where there are no benefits. Because if you work part-time in the United States, you don't get benefits. And that a lot of businesses here, they strive for a part-time workforce because then they do not have to pay the insurance fees and that kind of stuff. They don't have to pay you benefits. Yeah, see, I got this far in my comp book and then I stopped. It got set aside. So I said, well, I'll go on for a little while and work on this. I'll stay on for a little bit. Maybe color some of my flowers in and then doodle on them with white pen. That could look interesting. It was so funny. I told Scott last night, I said, I still have not found that scale. And he said, it's all about perspective. And he climbed down on the floor and he started looking around. And all of a sudden he says, found it. And he said, all you had to do is sit on the floor. It's right there on the shelf. And it was on the gray shelves and the scale is gray. So I guess my eyes just canceled it out. And he goes, there you go. I was like, cool. Now I can mail that package to Teresa. I can weigh it. Because Teresa won the bee box. I have new Sharpies. I'm just trying to use the very last that's in these.
Oh, the pollen is so bad.
Oh, let me tell you, the cottage is in Greenville, South Carolina, which is 2 hours northwest of our house, which is near Columbia, South Carolina. Just so you guys have a perspective. So it's about 100 miles between cottage and house. And on our way down to our house to work on it this weekend and to meet up with a mason, as we were driving along, it looked like it was raining ahead of us, but it wasn't rain. It was pollen falling. And Scott's in misery right now because it was just got all in his eyes and everything because we mowed the lawn. I used the push mower and he used the riding mower, and together we got the lawn done this time.
My Forrest Gump lawn.
Yeah. The riding lawnmower we have was Scott's aunt's mower. And it'll every once in a while will go pop, 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 pop.
All smoky. She's on her last legs.
And we've tried to find out if we could just get new workings for it, but it would cost us as much as a new mower, I think.
I'm looking for one with a blown transmission and take the engine off of it.
We might get lucky. We have not had to actually buy a lawnmower in years because Scott just somebody will be throwing one out and it'll be next. Hi, Bethany. And it'll be out near the street for garbage pickup. Scott will just load it up in the truck, bring it home, and he repairs them.
Sometimes give them away.
And then he sometimes gives them to a young couple that needs a mower or a single mother that needs a mower. Somebody that needs it.
There you go.
What was really funny is one mower Scott bought from our neighbor. And then recently we gave it back to him. Because he had bought, we had way too many mowers. So we gave it back to him because Scott had fixed it. Now that kid's using it. And I didn't know our neighbors are selling their house down there. The ones that we've been switching lawnmower back and forth. And we pulled up and the house is for sale. So I'm interested to see what they get for that house because that'll help us with a selling price for ours. So, Bethany said, our 5 kitties have been enjoying naps like we are. Well, Callie has stopped with the hair tie because Scott took it away from her. She went and had her a little bit more cat food. Now she's curled up in her chair next to me, right?
She looked for it for about 5 minutes.
She gets upset when you take it away from her. Let me get a Posca pen here. Or a gel roll. Or one of each. Get one of
That
those.
whole postal scale was a good buy.
Yeah, we got the postal scale at the thrift store. I think it was actually at the bins, wasn't it? Or, no, that was at a radio.
TR.
And we've been about to die to go thrifting, but we're not. Oh, I've got.
We ought to go see if there's any eggs at Inglewood.
Yeah, they're not open yet. Oh, I got too much stuff in here. I can't get the drawer open. I'll just pull the whole thing down here.
Ow! Oh,
You okay?
damn.
Do you need to wrap it?
Oh, probably I'll stay off of it.
Yeah, you probably should. Really? really got it plugged up this time. Can I get anything out to give me a... I have never gotten it stuck this badly. Maybe I need something bigger for pens. There we go. And watch, the white one won't even be in here. It's black, silver. That's the blobby thing. That's black. It's black. There's a white one. So maybe I'll redistribute those pens a bit. In a little bit. Hi, Sana. Good morning. Well, I just thought I'd pop on real quick since Mary's sleeping in today and decided not to do, yeah, I need bigger drawers. I'll keep a lookout at the thrift store when we can go again. Yeah, we couldn't get any eggs yesterday, so Scott's wanting to run up to Ingalls, which is closer to the house, because we went to Bilo last night and they didn't have any. So he's hoping they'll have some. See, I can eat the loaded oatmeal, and I'm good for, until lunchtime. But he needs eggs. We get settled. We'll probably get some eggs from my mom that haven't been washed or anything and put them in an incubator and hatch them. And might get some different colored eggs because Mom has all kinds of chickens. So when she has a dozen eggs, they're all different colors. So I'm thinking if I just get a bunch of different colored eggs and hatch them out, we'll have different colored eggs. Build me a hawk-proof chicken tractor and move them around the place. But no, I was saying that we might look at a prefabricated house and just buy land simply because then we can have as much land as we want to have for gardening and stuff. And we're trying to keep in mind, be realistic that there's only so much, we'll be able to manage as we get older, which really kind of stinks because, if we were younger, we'd take on a lot more.
I'm not accepting that very well.
No, Scott says he's not accepting the whole aging bit very well. He wants to still act like he's still in his 20s or 30s. And like now he's struggling because he's in a lot of pain.
Just a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound. Minor, right, honey? The Posca pens are great when they work, but when they're take a turn and they go south and they dump a big blob on, I don't care for that too much. But this one seems to be doing good, so I should keep my mouth shut so I don't jinx myself.
Mr. Howard.
Howard went outside and Tippy went outside. But there's that freaky, I don't know what's falling from the sky. I don't know if that's pollen. It looked like I should be getting wet when I was out there with the dog, but
It's a little rainy.
is it rainy?
Oh, here comes Tippy.
Tippy's coming back.
Come on, baby. There he is. They made a beeline in here.
Both of them?
Yeah. Hey, boys. Yeah.
Meow.
Bye, boy. Excuse me.
No,
Pardon me, sir.
Howard wants you to pick him up. I can tell by the sound of his meow. He's like, pick me up.
Oh, there. He's such a pretty big old boy.
Scott's a cat daddy. gosh. Here comes Tippy. Dun, dun, dun. Hello, Tippy. Oh, not in my book, buddy.
Oh, come on.
Okay, buddy. Tippy had a tick on him yesterday, so now I'm kind of freaked out about ticks. Okay.
So I gotta go get a snack now, Dad.
Howard has a routine of his own. Beth says, Papa Cat Daddy. Hi, Tippy. What's the matter, honey? I think Tippy's having trouble with the allergies, too. His eyes are all like he's got puffy eyes. Hi, Kimberly 557. Tippy, you need to lay down, honey. I can't see what I'm doing. Lay down.
Tippy, come on.
Come on, lay down. There we go. Yes, I know. I love you too, honey. I know. Yes, I know. Yeah. Are you a good boy? Huh? Oh, careful. That's hurt. Ouch. Gentle. Gentle. Send you to sit with Daddy. You don't be gentle. So I guess Scott's going to run up there and see if he can find some eggs. I guess I'll go with him. Might be my last chance to get out of here for a little bit because I'm not planning to go anywhere. But I wanted to come on and tell everybody good morning. And I'm going to be on at about 4 o'clock today. Barb Owen is going to be doing some classes that she'll be doing live and recording, but they will not remain on YouTube. So if you want to participate in a very fun and informative class with Barb Owen today, you need to get subscribed to her and get notifications. I think she'll be on at 2 Eastern, I think it is. And what she's going to do is she's going to do these classes live, and then they'll only be available for her patrons after that. Or, the ones that are on her website. But I'm planning to go and participate with that on Barb's channel. And when she wraps up, then I'll come on. So I'm thinking it'll be about 4 o'clock. I do not have a project in mind just yet, but I'll come up with something before then. And I think I'm going to sign off and let you guys get your day started, and I'll see you later. And then I think Lisa will be on tonight. Okay? Good morning, everybody. I'm just fixing to sign off to look, see if we can find some eggs somewhere. Hi, Tippy. You're a sweet boy. You want to say good morning to everybody? Let's see if I can lift this up.
Am I the best cat daddy ever?
All right, say good morning, everybody. He's sheepy. He's my little buddy. See, he's Tippy. Got his tippy tail. All right, guys. Watch for Barb today. If you'd like to do something fun this afternoon. Barb Owen. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Scott says bye.
Being held down.
Yeah.